Marco Polo was a greatly loved ship in the Cruise and Maritime Voyagers fleet. I had the pleasure of cruising on her 7 times for a total of 215 nights. This is a little bit of her history and my tour of the ship on the day I came aboard for the very first time. Originally called Alexander Pushkin, Marco Polo was built in 1965. For 20 years, she was operated by the Baltic Shipping Company in the Soviet Union. You may occasionally hear her referred to as an icebreaker. She wasn't. She did, however, have enhanced hull strength to enable her to navigate broken ice. It's a feature I was glad of when she grazed a small iceberg when I was sailing on her to Greenland. The swimming pool on Alexander Pushkin had a very unusual design. It was an indoor-outdoor pool with a sliding glass roof. Sadly, this feature had been removed by the time she became Marco Polo. In 1991, she was rebuilt and entered service as the cruise ship Marco Polo with Orient Lines. After a brief period operated by Transocean Tours, she joined CMV in 2010. 5 years later, in 2015, at Tilbury Cruise Terminal in London, I boarded her for the first time for her Canada in the Fall cruise, designed to celebrate 50 years of this amazing ship. I fell in love with her instantly, and after more than 200 nights on board, she felt like a second home to me. Let me take you back to the 7th of September 2015 as I take you on a tour of Marco Polo and share with you my first impressions of the ship. Keep watching till the end and I'll tell you more about her and what happened to her when CMV went into administration during the pandemic. Welcome to the MV Marco Polo. I'm aboard this ship for the next 5 weeks, lecturing on photography as we voyage from Europe over to Canada and then back home here. I'm one of the first people to board the ship today, and my room isn't even ready yet, so I thought just a quick chance to do a short video. I'm going to go off in a moment and take some photos around the vessel to show you where I'm staying. I'm going to try and post 1 or 2 of these videos throughout the voyage. Whether I'll manage it, I don't know. I've got limited internet access, so it may turn out to be that they don't get posted till I get home. Well, we'll see. Really looking forward to the voyage. Come with me now as I show you around the ship. Most of the public parts of the ship were on Deck 8, also known as the Magellan Deck. At one end was Marco's Bistro, the ship's buffet. Then passing through the Columbus Lounge and the Palm Garden, we find ourselves in the reception area. From there, we can walk through the Captain's Club Lounge to find the Show Lounge, which is where I gave my photography talks. Heading up one deck to Amundsen Deck 9, we find another bar lounge, Scott's Bar, at the rear of the ship. Well, I've had a good look round the ship now. I've had some lunch and I finally made it to my cabin along with, you can see, all the luggage. It's a really nice cabin and there's a few treats here because this is a very special voyage. First of all, in addition to the normal sort of programme for what's happening today, excursion lists, etc., there's a rather nice journal, I suppose, which says Marco Polo celebrating 50 years, complete with pen, really nice, and also a couple of little badges, pins, also celebrating 50 years of the Marco Polo. So I guess I ought to be wearing one of these on my waistcoat when I'm giving my lectures. So that's the gifts and the freebies. Let me just show you around the cabin. So as we enter the cabin, we can see there's two beds, and above the one on the right, there's a fold-down bed, so it can sleep 3. 2 portholes looking out. The other bed appears to have been claimed already by a certain travelling bear. The usual set of freebies. Of course, we've got life jackets, and lifeboat drill will be in a short while. Looking the other way, we've got a television, the entrance into the cabin. Over on the left here is a 3-door wardrobe, rather large, with some space, safe inside, and plenty of hanging space. Full-length wardrobe on there. What I will find quite useful is over this side, which is the it's a dressing table rather than a desk, but probably not much space for the knees, but at least it's a working space where I can set the laptop up to do any additional work. So that's the cabin. All that remains for me to do now is to unpack all the luggage, claim the bed back off the bear, and edit my photos and video, and hopefully get this posted sometime before I return from Canada. As we set sail from Tilbury, we were entertained by songs from cruise director Richard Sykes at the sail away party on the rear deck. Later on, the sun sets as we pass the wind farms in the North Sea. In the show lounge, the entertainments team performed their Welcome Aboard show. Over a 5-year period, I had many wonderful adventures on board Marco Polo, beginning with her 50th anniversary voyage to Canada. I'll be posting travelogues of these adventures to this channel, so please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you will know when they're online and you can relive them with me. Sadly, in 2020, as we all know, the pandemic temporarily put an end to cruising. Marco Polo's owners, CMV, sadly went into administration and the ship was sold. Attempts by her new owners to return her to service or to give the ship a new life as a floating hotel unfortunately came to nothing. She was sold again to an Indian company, and in early 2021 she made her final journey to the scrapyards of Alang in India, where she was beached and dismantled. Marco Polo may have gone, but her memory lives on, and I look forward to sharing with you some of our adventures together through the travelogues on this channel. Goodbye, Marco Polo. You are forever remembered.